Well, good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning here in Central Florida, and we are back for another edition of Achiever Spotlight. And I know that this is our homework on Wednesday spot, but we also are claiming it for Achiever Spotlight. And we are so excited today to have a group of women here who are just going to share some wonderful information with us and help us understand the great things that they are doing. So welcome back. If you have been with us for a previous Achiever Spotlight, if this is your first time, welcome for the first time. Let me give you just 2 seconds of what Achiever Spotlight is really all about. It exists to shine a light on the countless accomplishments of African American women who daily make phenomenal contributions to our world, and in my opinion, are all too often overlooked, underappreciated, and underpaid. And so our goal with the Achiever Spotlight is to help change that narrative by making everyone that we can reach aware of who these women are and what they're doing and all that they have to offer. If you remember, a few weeks ago, our first guest was Lisa Baker, who is the founder and CEO of Ascentum, helping people get their financial houses in order. We had a phenomenal conversation with her. Then just a week or so later, we had Leslie Sherrod, an award-winning author of Christian fiction, just a social worker, a mom, a wife, an author, doing a great job. And so today, we are excited to have our guest from JMG Academy. But let me just tell you also, before we bring them on, that October is going to be on and popping. On October 8th, our guest will be Donna Banks, who is the founder and the brain trust of the Fresh Book Festival. It is a huge book festival where she brings authors from all over the country and now even internationally together to talk about the creative process, to talk about their books, to really help people understand what it is to write a book and what the marketing is and how tough it is for people who look like us, but these people are still getting it done. And then on October 15th, Shirelle Carper will be our guest. She is a retired air traffic controller who she, along with my biological sister, who I'm still trying to get on, served in air traffic for many, many years, like 40 years, two Black women who went to the highest echelons of aviation through air traffic control. And now Shirelle is also the president of the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women out of Washington, D.C. She's going to be our guest on October 15th. And then October 22nd, Dr. Nina Sharif Franklin, who is a nutritionist and exercise guru, who's going to come and talk to us about taking better care of our bodies and eating right. So listen, you don't want to miss a single episode of Achiever Spotlight, and there is more to come. But at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce JMG Academy. All right, let me bring them on. And there they are. Welcome, ladies. Welcome. We are delighted to have you this morning. Thank you for getting up early on a Saturday morning to talk to us about JMG Academy. We want to know all about it. Jackie and Gwen, we are all members of the same church. I've had the privilege to meet Michelle. And so we're just going, I told them we're just going to relax. Even though people all over the world are watching us, let's put a little pressure on you guys. But we're just having a girlfriend's conversation. We're talking to our listeners today because they are here, because they're interested and want to know all about what you guys are doing. So listen, the other thing before we let them talk, I want to ask you to click like and click share. One of the things that the Achiever Spotlight is designed to do is to spread the word. It's not that Black entrepreneurs are not as smart. It's not that we're not as talented. It's not that we're not as accomplished. It's that we are underfunded. We don't have the deep pockets to market and to buy ad space and magazines and newspapers and billboards and television space. And so many times we get squeezed into this tiny little market, but yet we are just as capable, just as accomplished, just as smart as everybody else. So if you will share these broadcasts with your friends and your colleagues and your contacts, then what you are doing is you're replacing buying a magazine ad, which we can't do, or buying a newspaper space. So go ahead and help us today. Click like, click share, and let's help get the word out about JMG Academy. It is a worthwhile undertaking. So having said all that, I'm going to ask each one of these beautiful ladies to just take a couple of moments and introduce yourselves. These women are all healthcare professionals, and they have come together to do something phenomenal. So let's start with Jackie, and we'll just go around the group and tell us a little bit, Jackie, about your background and what you've done in the healthcare profession.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Butler. I was born in Georgia, raised in New Jersey, graduated from high school, moved to Florida. And when I came to Florida, I started interest in the medical field. So I started as a medical assistant and was employed at the Volusia County Health Department 1994. Working in the medical field. And, my interest grew to love to work in the medical field, serving people, helping people to maintain good health or preventative measures. And so therefore I went back to school for a registered nurse. I didn't go to LPN, I went to the registered nurse because by that time I was a little older. So went to Daytona State College in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I received my AA, then I received an AS in nursing. And then I went back and received my BAS in supervision and management. So I have received all my training here in Daytona. And then I've been working for the Volusia County Health Department for 25 years.
Yeah, wow.
Excuse me?
I said, wow, 25 years.
24 years. I worked for Volusia County Health Department. Last year, with great prayer and listening to the word of God, I decided my season was up and for the health department and to start my own business, our own business, for one reason, because you can work for an organization no matter how long you want to work for. They may not know your worth or appreciate your worth or your growth, whatever the case may be. And I decided that I had a love and passion to step out and teach others and develop a healthy environment. So that's when we came together and put our heads together. I am a wife of 25 plus years, and I have 8 children and 50 plus grandchildren.
This lady is a busy lady, and I can tell you she is high energy, though. Let me tell you, don't let her fool you. She can get some stuff done. And on top of all that, she is a phenomenal cook. Let me just throw that in there. We have been blessed for years at Hope Fellowship Church by her culinary skills. So you are awesome. All right, let's hear from you, Michelle.
Good morning, everyone. I am Michelle Jones. And actually, I am an original Floridian. Started my education, actually began, after high school to Florida A&M University. Started there, missed my mom, and returned back home. And started at Bethune-Cookman University. So, it was Bethune-Cookman College in the beginning. So that was where my education started. I started in nursing. From there, for me, I love what I was doing, but I always had a drive in me that there was more. So years later, I returned back to school, and because my job at the time that I had, I was working more, I felt like in a social worker role. So I ended up going back and getting an undergrad degree in sociology. From there, into transformative leadership, because I had a plan to go into public health administration.
Okay.
But from there, just looking at the need of what I was doing and everything, and working with people and my interaction with other people, and family members, with an organization that I work for, I ventured, and the next thing I was back in, because I'm a sponge for education. So I was back into school, getting master's in transformative leadership. From there, a master's in mental health counseling, for counseling. But as Jackie said, with this organization, I worked about 30 plus years.
Wow.
And at one point, again, because in the back of my mind, as our fellow Wildcats out there know, our motto, we enter to learn, we depart to serve.
Yes.
And these two, Gwen, and she'll talk about Gwen, but Gwen and I worked together, and we just started talking. Again, as Jackie said, it was just like conversation around the table, and talking about the need, because from what I experienced, people coming into the organization where I work, and sometimes a lot of the young people that I would talk with wanted to do things, sometimes didn't have the necessary funds, the education, nor given the opportunity. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was like, I'm one that whatever I know, or any knowledge that I gain, anything, I'm a share. I come from a large family, 17 kids. So we were taught to share. We were taught to share. So that's all I know to give. And so I would have people, young ladies come in sometimes, young men, and want a job, didn't have what they needed. And a lot of times, as Gwen can say, I wear my heart on my hand, and I maneuver somehow and get them in, to work. And so we came together, and it was like one day talking to Gwen, I was like, Gwen, I've worked and I've been in this role, in an administrative role, and worked and made this company, not alone, but from a team effort, millions and millions of dollars. We can do this ourselves, and we started talking. And one day Jackie showed up, and I stopped by, and we started talking. She was coming out of the health department, and was like, what can we do? And Jackie said something that now is actually our motto. I think she said she heard it at church, I don't know where, but we started talking about the need of the surrounding community, and what we wanted to do was, what can we do to give back? What can we do to bring about a change? A change comes, the word tell us, be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. And we have so many young people, and we found young and old, that have been told that they can't do, won't do, don't have the funds to do. So we're like, okay, what can we do first? We got to change the way that they think, but also we got to be able to give. And Jackie said this, empower the people to heal the community.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there and move on to Gwen, because I have to keep you guys moving, because all y'all can talk. Okay, Gwen. and we got a lot to cover. We've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to be the bad guy. Keep it moving. Let's go, Gwen.
Good morning. I'm Gwendolyn Richardson. I'm going to be short, because my list isn't that long of saying that there. I'm a registered nurse. I'm studied at Daytona State College. Received my associates in science and nursing. I've actually been in the medical field pretty much all my life.
So how many years would you say because I'm trying to see how many years of experience we have on this screen today, because Jackie said 25 plus at Volusia County. Michelle has 30 plus, and that's already 55. So you're going to take us over the top, Gwen.
Right. Well, my journey started as a CNA back in the early 90s. I was a CNA, certified nursing assistant.
Okay.
I went to LPN school, and then I continued on and went to RN school.
Okay.
So I have over 20 years of experience in nursing myself.
All right. So I want you guys to realize, because this is something that many times gets lost in the translation. As again, African American women, especially, it's almost like we're always just starting. We're sort of like junior. And I want you to realize that you're looking at over 80 years of experience right here on this. And these three women today on this screen are over 80 years of healthcare professional experience. That in and of itself ought to just have us standing up and cheering for them, because they are not novices. They are all professionally trained. They are all educated. Isn't it interesting how many times our education is downplayed?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, but these women all have degrees, you know, not that an associate's degree is anything to be sneezed at, but they all have 4-year and greater and graduate level degrees in this profession. So they are well trained, well qualified, knowledgeable, not only from a book sense, but they've actually worked in the field for decades. And so they bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to JMG Academy. All right, so let's fast forward past. Okay, so we get it. You guys got the goods. You bring the goods to the table. Yes. All right. So, but tell us what prompted you. And I think I heard sort of a theme, especially with Jackie and Michelle, is that you have worked in organizations and helped them to be successful and poured your knowledge, your experience, your passion into their pockets, in a sense. And yet that there might I think I heard there might have been, like so many have experienced, a lack of recognition of those contributions, a lack of compensation at times for those contributions. Did I kind of hear that thread, Michelle? Let me come back to you.
Definitely, because we would have young ladies come in and they had worked in the field as, maybe companions, actually doing the same thing as, close to what a CNA, a certified nursing assistant, would do. But because they did not have that, that piece of paper to say, I've gone through training. So therefore, they would come in, work side by side, and I'm just throwing out a number. This companion making $9, this CNA making anywhere from 10 to 12 or more. Mm-hmm. And are doing a little side work, trying to make a living.
Right.
And at the same time, in talking with them, they would say sometimes, I really want to be a nurse. It's like, well, so why are you not in nursing school? Why haven't you never tried? So with that, again, like I said, with Gwen, and just talking about Gwen, the first time we did this class, we did it for a company. I was short staffed and needed CNAs. So I said to Gwen, we couldn't, get people in. I said, you know what? We're going to train our own. So she goes, I ordered everything. I called the board nurse to make sure I'm doing everything right, got the right books and everything. So Gwen says, well, who's going to teach the class? I said, you're going to teach it. But I've never taught a class before. I said, well, you're going to learn today. So we got the book and we sit down and we went over together. And for me, I tell anybody, we did an ad. Thank you to her daughter, Tara. Mm-hmm. Tara placed it on Facebook. We had over 100 and some people respond to that ad. We selected 20 because it was our first time doing it. But I watched Gwen just blossom because she kept saying she couldn't do it. So I would come in every morning and do a 5-minute cheerleader. We had this thing called Be That Girl. So everyone had to stand up and say, be that girl that's going to rise up in the morning.
I love that. Be that girl. I'm stealing that. Be that girl.
Motivating them, but not only motivating the students, pumping Gwen up like, you can do this. And we finished that program, and we are very excited because we started with 20. We selected 20. We had 17 of them that actually finished the program. And Great. Now I go in hospitals. I see them on the floors in hospital working. I see them in other facilities working. Right. So for me right there, so when we came together again, once again, when we started talking about this, Gwen, Jackie, because as you say, Jackie is a go-getter.
Yes. Yes.
They call me the marketing part of it, but Gwen, people talking. I just say, Gwen, yes, you can, and we, but we're excited because every time I walk in Advent Hospital and I see somebody go, hey, Miss Michelle, they're working, they are a product
of what we have.
of what we've done.
Wonderful,
When
wonderful.
right from this program here, when they call and Jackie make them, when they pass that test, they're calling us. And I think we're more excited than they are because it's going back to what we want to see. And the way that we do it, we tell them from the beginning, we're going to handhold you. Handhold means once they register, they call Jackie, she don't let up. She's calling them. Where are you? You call.
That's
When are you
awesome.
coming? You know, it's that kind of thing. Because we see the what's in them. And you see the pride in them when they finish. I'm looking at some of the pictures now with them holding up their certificate. It just, you know, you see the pride in them when they complete the program. But not only that, we have some, once they complete this, they're thinking about the nursing program because they see 3 nurses
Right.
That made it.
You
Right.
know. And
So let me keep us moving. Gwen, I think I heard a couple of things. One is that certainly I hear that there is a mentoring component. You might not call it that, but I hear that in what you're saying. So it's not just you're a number that goes through a class and go off and whatever, but that you guys, because of your own experiences, because of your own passions, you mentor. You call it hand holding, but you are mentoring, you are encouraging, you're their cheerleaders. You're saying go get, but not only for them. Gwen, you didn't know you could teach a class.
No, I didn't. She made
Well,
me do
congratulations
it.
for waiting in and making it happen. So you started the academy because you saw a need. I think I hear you say in the community, but I think you're also feeling a need among other women who didn't have the confidence maybe, or didn't believe in themselves or know what they were really capable of. But in this nurturing environment that you guys have created, people are now able to say, you know what, I don't have to worry about being judged. I don't have to worry about being overly criticized. I don't have to worry about being embarrassed. I can go in and I can be taught. I can be nurtured. I can be supported. I mean, there is no price that you can put on that. That is absolutely priceless. So talk about, Jackie, some of the classes. I think that you said that you had over, Michelle said that you had over 100 people apply initially, but you accepted 20. So is it a part of your model that you keep it small in terms of class sizes?
Okay, so the 100 she was talking about was for the business she was working on, her job where they started.
Okay,
that's their 100. I'm looking for 100 right now.
Okay. Come on, ladies. Listen, you out there that are listening, let me just take a sidebar for just a moment. If you have not liked and shared this video or this live, please do so. There are young women and not so young women all over, not just Volusia, Flagler, Seminole, Orange, or where we are located geographically, but there are women around the world who need to hear these women say, you can stop in the middle of something, you can change course, you can build a business, you can be successful, bring your education, bring your experience, bring your skill, bring your passion to the table, and you can make a difference. And whether it's in the healthcare profession or whatever it is, if you have the education, the experience, the passion, and the skill, you can make a difference. So that's a theme that I hear running throughout everything that all 3 of these women are saying. And that's a critically important message. And the mentoring and the nurturing, I think is just phenomenal. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jackie. Please share this with your networks.
So our first phase of our business, we started the Cna Prep Course. And in the state of Florida, you can challenge the Cna exam without any training. You can go in, pay your money, and hopefully you can pass the test and become a CNA. That's good for some people. It doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
And my passion is working with people hands-on because I'm a hands-on person.
Okay.
You know, I won't say I'm a straight A book smart person. I know how to read. I know how to comprehend, but I'm a hands-on person. And so a lot of people fit in that category. Also, before I started my career, I had fear. Fear that I wouldn't be able to pronounce words, fear that I wouldn't be able to talk to the doctor, fear I wouldn't be able to work in a nurse or work in an environment. So I had to conquer that fear. And someone had to say, you can do it. And so that's where we at with the Cna program. We have a prep program where we bring them in and we go over all the skills hands-on and we prep them to pass the state exam. And so we give them all the information, and then we watch them actually perform the skills. With that being said, we also require them to wear uniforms.
Okay.
Because in the real world, you have to wear a uniform.
Right.
And part of our passion and my passion is to teach them to be professional.
Right.
To start as a CNA, a home health aide, and work yourself up. Because that's where most people start. Once they get in the medical field and they get comfortable, oh, I can do this, now I'm going to be a nurse. You don't have to start at a CNA, but this is a good foundation.
Okay.
We teach them to be here on time. We teach them to wear the proper uniform. We teach them by name badge, and we teach them how to conduct themselves on a professional level. And those are the things we mentor because we started somewhere. And let me say, I was one of the bad employees on the job. You can't tell me what to do and how to do it. And somebody had to pull me aside and say, listen, you are excellent. You got great potential, but this is something you need to do. You need to.
Oh, nice. Jackie, just stay right there for a minute. Let's not blow past that because that is true. I think my background was in corporate, in the financial services industry. You guys see it in the healthcare profession. I think most companies see it because in our culture, let's just be honest, in our culture, many times our attitude is just that we are taught from the cradle, get people straight. Don't let that will not. If you want to shoot yourself in the foot,
that's a way to start.
That's the place to start. So that's why mentoring, because many times, and I saw it down through the years in corporate America, when we would have a young African-American male or primarily females with that 2 snaps and wringing your neck and all that stuff, what would happen is that their Caucasian supervisors and managers would write them off. They wanted because they were labeled as trouble and problematic and unpromotable and untrainable, and all these negative labels would be attributed. And many a time I had to go in, but I believe that God strategically placed me there to be the voice that said, no, we're not going to write them off. We can work on this. This person has potential. This is a different environment. This is a different culture, but it's not because they can. I learned it because when I went, I had the neck and the fingers.
Yeah,
right. And that was my whole attitude. So that mentoring, that being willing to say, I'm not going to write you off. You are better than that. You have potential. You can do better than that is so critically important.
And that started in the workplace for the agency I work for. You know, they would say, oh, that person. I said, because I can just see myself. And I would pull them aside and say, listen, you know, let's tone it down.
Right.
You need to be on work on time. You need to do this, do that. And I have helped develop employees to get to that professional level because somebody installed that in me. So at JMG Academy, that's what we do. If they walk in here with a wrinkled uniform, if they walk in here smelling like marijuana, I pull them aside and say, we're not going to do this.
No, ma'am.
I need you to come here tomorrow with that uniform. You ain't got to press it, but I want to see no wrinkles.
Okay.
And you don't need to be smelling like marijuana.
Right.
Okay. Oh, Miss Jackie. But
don't come in here in a bonnet.
Right. In a bonnet. Ooh, you tell about in a bonnet. And so that's one of the things I think set us on another level as a business, because if we're going to empower people to heal the community, we got to help empower them.
Yes.
And we got to help teach them, mentor them, because let's think about it. These people now are going to be who take care of us.
Right. Yes.
So we need to help educate them, mentor them. So when we go into these facilities and we take care of, we know we're gonna get excellent service. And
That's
so
right.
that's our program. We have a hands-on program, we have a fast-paced program, and then our second phase we did med tech, and Ms. Winter tell you about the med tech.
Okay.
Then our third phase we added our CPR. So
Okay.
right now we're providing Cna Prep Course, med tech course, and CPR, and Michelle does core training. She'll tell you a little bit about that.
All right, let's go to Gwen and let's hear about MedTech. I tell you, the time gets away so fast when you're talking, and I really want to get all this in. Please, please, if you have not shared this, share it. It's going to be up on my Facebook. It's going to be on my YouTube. You can share it with people. Get the word out about the work that these women are doing. Let's hear about MedTech, Gwen.
Okay, MedTech is medication administration, which is another certification that you can obtain. Right now, we offer a 6-hour class, and that in details going through all the rights of how to administer medication in a different form. Now, each state have different rules.
Right.
Here in Florida, you really only can use this certification in an assisted living facility.
Okay.
And it's called self-administration. That if you're helping a resident or whoever as administer them, as you can't just give it to them, you're assisting them.
Okay.
And most of you have to be a CNA already. In most facilities, you have to have your CNA certificate in order to add this addition to your training. But some you can just go and take the med tech class and get a job. It's higher pay, add it on to your CNA and go in facilities and help. Because some of the residents just need a little help twisting the bottle open.
Okay.
Or most of them know their pills, you know, what they're taking. They just need supervision, and we train you to read the medication MAR and then help administer medications to different residents who need them. You have to sign a consent because you're an unlicensed person. They're not a nurse.
Right.
But I tell you, I've been teaching this class, and some of these young ladies and men, they come out knowing medications better than I do.
That's a wonderful skill, though, to be able to know
It
that.
is.
I mean, even, and I'm going to ask about this. I just thought of this. I'm going to ask about this at the end. I don't want to forget it. I'm going to ask about, but I don't want to interrupt. But yeah, that's a great skill to have, to know medications and to be able to know the differences and to help people. Because one of the things that happens, even in our own families, I remember when my dad health was failing, and you go to one doctor for this and another doctor for that and another doctor for that, and they're prescribing all these different medications. We didn't know what they were, and sometimes, well, we got into a situation where one medication was working against the other, and he's taking all of it, and we didn't know. That would have been a tremendous thing for me as a daughter to know how to help my own dad.
Yeah, you have to update it yearly. You get your certificate, but every year you have to renew it. You have to do a refresher class and renew it, just like any other certificate program. So it's an honor, and it gives a lot of the students who want to go to the next level. That's a great start, because then you've already been exposed to the medication MARs, different medications. So you're ahead of the game now if you're going to attend school to go for nursing.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, Michelle, now you teach what is called what? Core?
I teach what is called through the Agency of Healthcare Administration. So I am an approved trainer that teaches core training, assisted living core training. I also teach adult family care. So what that is a home life setting that is pretty much, it's not a nursing home. They are in a home life setting. So I do the training for administrators. I do the training for any of the staff in there that need, updates, because if they don't go through the core training, they should have at least some training on what assisted living is. Also, there's a level of service in there that's called extended congregate care, which is a level of care that falls between skilled nursing and assisted living. So I also do that training. And for adult family care, so some people might ask, well, what's the difference between assisted living and adult family care? Well, assisted living is you have a facility, you have staff there, and as the administrator, you're the administrator. In adult family care, the owner or designee must live in the home where they have those residents. So it's a difference there. So I do that training. Also, for any facilities out there that might have another level of service called LMH, which is limited mental health. So if they don't have like a contract with a psychiatrist or a psychologist on staff with them, there's training that they have. So with my degree in mental health counseling, I can go in and do training for that, and offer training for that. And then, of course, Alzheimer's disease, level 1, level 2 on the assisted living level. I'm also an approved trainer for that. So other than that, I go out and I do just education.
And marketing.
And marketing.
She's a market person.
I go into facilities, a lot of facilities out there, a lot of the smaller ones. Sometimes, I go in and there's a couple now that I work with that they have their facilities, but just going in and making sure that they are survey ready. Right. Sometimes there's people that I've worked with that's thinking about opening an assisted living facility. So I sit down with them on how to prepare their license, how to get their building ready before the surveyors come in to say yes or no, you can open the doors. So that's kind of what I bring to the table here. And again, just enjoying these two because, I know we don't have enough time, but I really wish, I got them on film, but just to see when people leave our class, they go, Miss Jackie makes it fun. They don't feel intimidated when they come into our building, and I'm on the outside with my camera because she does, and it's just like, it's like a mama in the classroom, with dignity. She's teaching them dignity, professionalism, how you should be, and she's not taking that what you can't do and attitude, because she's just right there. With Gwen, the same thing. They're so really good with the people in the class. As you can hear, I'm not so much in the classroom right now,
right.
because of those two. But I can tell you, right after the class, the first number one thing that I hear if I talk to any student, oh man, Miss Jackie made it so much fun. They're learning, and she leaves a sense of, should I say, she gets them one step from that helplessness, hopelessness. For me, I am the mentor. I'm telling you, that's my motto when I'm talking to them. What you can do. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you can't do. Because
be that girl.
Be that girl, right?
That's it. Girl. I love
We are
that.
girls.
I love that. All right. We only have I try to keep these within 45 minutes. Where our audience has stayed. They have been wonderful. I want to, if you have a question for either of these ladies, if you will go ahead right now while we're wrapping up and put it in the comments. If you have a comment that you would like for me to pass on to either one of them, go ahead and put it in the comments in these last few moments that we have. I pray that you will share this information with your networks. If let me ask this question. If someone in Michigan was interested in starting something like this, are you guys open? And I know I heard you say all state laws are different, and I understand that. So you're not going to be able to teach law, but from a model, a training model, from a concept, from a philosophy, from just a brainstorming and helping people think through and sort of pulling their ideas together. Are you guys open to being a resource? What's because you're all about giving back and helping people. Jackie, where have you thought about that? That's one question that I have. And the second question that I didn't want to forget is if I, as an individual, I'm not planning to be a healthcare professional. But if I wanted to come to JMG Academy and take CPR, just because I want to know how to do it for myself, or if I have a chronically ill relative that I really want to be sure that I know how to turn them over in bed or do those things that take really good care of them and not hurt myself, could I take the course, even though I have no intention of being a medical professional outside of my own family?
Okay, so the first question that you asked, yes, we are open to people reaching out to us, and we can share our knowledge with them. Let me say this, we're still learning and working through some things. We stepped out on faith and we stepped out on a lot of things, and some things you have to backpedal a little bit. but we can say the do's and don'ts, and we can highly encourage, and we can direct you to
share the resources,
that person, or where they need to go.
Okay, great.
Yes, and the second question, yes, anyone, you don't have to be want to be certified nursing assistant if you want to take this class. We don't have several wives and family members took the class because they want to be able to take care of their loved one
Exactly
on that excellent level.
Yes.
So that's absolutely. And Pastor Ray, I want to mention this real quick. There are students that come to us that have issues, law issues, something on their record. We help them with that process.
Ooh, wonderful.
With that process, whether it has to be a sponge, seal, and sometimes it don't even be really nothing but write a characteristic letter, and they don't know because someone told them you can't do this, you can't do that because you can't pass the background check. Yeah. We help them pass the background check.
Oh, Jackie, listen, did you guys hear that? So many people are frozen by fear.
Yes.
Somebody has told them you have a record, you did, and you are locked in, and you listen, you're outside, but you're in prison. You're living in a mental prison because you don't know. So if you have a question, if you have a desire to be a medical professional and you have something on your record, contact them and find out whether or not what you've been told is true. Right. Yeah, please don't live in prison in fear. Right. So, yeah. And we gotta wrap it up. The time goes so quickly, so very quickly. You guys have been awesome. I think you have had the largest audience so far of any group that we've had. So congratulations to all of you for that. Congratulations. I am so very proud of what you've accomplished and all of the great things that you will continue to accomplish in the future. I'm going to give each one of you a minute, Michelle. 1 minute, Michelle. The biggest culprit is Michelle. 1 minute to just have your closing remarks, your closing thoughts, and what you'd like to say to your audience today. Jackie, we'll start with you.
Okay, well, to my audience, I want to say thank you to Pastor Faye for putting on her spotlight. Pastor Faye is a woman that serves a great God. She's a great person with great ideas and provide a great service. And I want to say thank you. I want to say, look us up. We have our website, www.jmgacademy.com, for information. We're here to answer your questions and help serve you so we can empower people to heal our communities.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, Michelle.
Okay, so for me, I'm just going to say thank you again to our audience. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Because it's a gift, and we want to say thank you. Lastly, just to our listeners out there, we are here. We are here to help you, really it's a blessing to us. Because, much is given, much is required.
Yes.
And we are blessed, pour it down to pour into others. So I just want to say thank you again. Look us up, as Jackie said, come and visit if nothing else. And to every male, female out there, you know, this is just our thing. Be that girl that gets up
Be that girl. I
every
love
day
it.
and say, I can do anything.
That's
And
right.
there's nothing
Your
impossible.
minute's up.
That's
So
right.
Jackie, my minute is up.
All right, Gwen, your turn.
In closing, I just want to thank you, Pastor Faye, for giving us the opportunity.
You're so welcome.
You're an amazing woman, and we love you. To our viewers, we just want to say, give us the opportunity, look us up. You won't regret it, and God bless.
All right. So listen, as you can see, their contact information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. For JMG Academy, for more information, you can contact them via email, jmgacademy/2@gmail.com. Their phone number is 386-295-6201. And their website is jmgacademy/squarespace/.com. So listen, all of the information is there. Reach out to these phenomenal women. And let me tell you something, even though we're wrapping up, people are still jumping on, your numbers are still climbing. And I am so excited for that. I think you guys have done a phenomenal job. You provide a tremendous service. We are proud of you as African-American women for your courage, for your commitment, for your excellence, and for all that you are doing in and for our community. God bless you. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Listen, remember, October's Achiever Spotlight is going to be as phenomenal as all of these conversations have been. October 8th, and these next ones are at 2 p.m. I give them a choice, 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. Those have both proven to be great times to get people on. But the next October's conversations are all at 2 p.m. October 8th. Donna Banks, who will be talking about the Fresh Book Festival. I want to encourage you to be here. This woman put this initiative on her shoulders and has carried it, and it has gone from Daytona Beach, Florida. It has now become international. It is one of the largest Black book festivals in the country, and it started right here with one woman with an idea. Don't tell me what a Black woman can't do. I'm that girl.
Amen.
We are that girl. October 15th, Shirelle Carper, who is a retired air traffic controller who landed planes, people, a Black woman, my biological sister, BJ Smith. I'm begging her to come on. She's so shy. She's brilliant, but she doesn't want to come on. But she was one of the top ranked air traffic controllers in the country. And now, even in her 70s, she's so brilliant. They called her back, and she is still training air traffic controllers. That's how bad my sister is. Yes. And I'm going to shoot her if she doesn't come on. But Shirelle will be on, and Shirelle is also the president of the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women in Washington, D.C. You guys need to connect with her. I'll give you the information.
Okay.
All right. And then thirdly, on October 22nd, Dr. Nina Cherie Franklin out of Atlanta, Georgia, will be our guest. She is a brilliant health sciences professional. She is a nutritionist. She is an exercise expert. She will train you on how to live a healthier life. She is phenomenal with recipe. I mean, just from soup to nuts, everything that you need to know about nutrition and about living healthy. So listen, you don't want to miss any of these, and there is more to come. So spread the word. Achiever Spotlight. We are that girl. I love that. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.